Jena 2000 here, coming at you with a movie review of Donnie Darko from 1999, directed by Richard Kelly, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Jena Malone, Patrick Swayze, Drew Berrymore, Mary McDonell, and Noah Wild, and also Seth Rogen is randomly in this movie. Very young Seth Rogen, and this is a trippy movie to watch. I really enjoy it. This was a DVD that was sent to me by my good friend Sean over at Seven Final Sanity. Yeah, he sent me a lot of movies, and he included this movie because I wanted my thoughts about it. Because I remember, because I tell him about like how I remember not caring about this movie, thought this movie sucked when I saw it years ago, but now I saw it, and I saw it two times because it is a two-time watch movie where you have to see it two times to see how it is and what you missed in the movie. That's how I felt when I saw M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's Split from 2016, which I do enjoy that movie. I enjoyed it the second time I watched it because the first time I saw it, it was really confusing, but the second time was a better watch. I do enjoy this movie with its soundtrack. The soundtrack is the best thing that I enjoy from this movie. And the acting isn't that bad. It's good. I like Jake Gyllenhaal from a lot of movies that he done. But do I think this is a masterpiece as everybody says it out to be? No. But do I think it's a piece of shit that I felt years ago about it? No. It's neither both. It's to me a solid, decent mid movie that I thought it was entertaining and interesting and weird and bizarre. But all in all, I would say it's a well done movie and I like the soundtrack. But I felt like some of these actors they did better movies after this and before. Like Patrick Swayze, I liked him more in Roadhouse and Ghost and Point Break and Dirty Dancing. Jake Gyllenhaal, I liked him in movies like October Sky, Southpaw, Day After Tomorrow. I know, ironically, he's with Patrick Swayze in this movie, and he's doing a sort of remake or sequel, whatever the hell they want to call it nowadays, the new Roadhouse movie. But all in all, I still gotta check that one out. That came out this year, but we'll see if that is any good. I'll see if that's any good. But yeah, and even Drew Barrymore, I liked her in Firestarter, which I would say that's a little bit of a better movie than Donnie Darko. But all in all, I enjoy this movie with some of its cinematography and its trippy effects, and the soundtrack is good. Even by the end, I like the song at the end of the movie. Like it's a good song. It kind of sounded like Phil Collins singing at the end a little bit. I'm not sure if it's him or not, but the voice sounded like him a little bit. But this movie is about Donnie Darko, who is a bipolar teen who struggles with being good and being evil and also sleepwalking and having an imaginary friend named Frank who's like this imaginary character that wears like this bunny outfit with a skull face on mask on it. And there's this trippy scene where he's in the bathroom and his parents are away to go to a parent teacher conference that day, and he's like in the bathroom looking at Frank, and this big blob of water floats out of Frank's chest, and it's like it looks like that blob water from The Abyss, James Cameron's The Abyss, where it's looking towards at Ed Harris and his family. I mean, Ed Harris and his wife and his friends. Like this blob is like making face shapes and weird looking other stuff. Like, whoa, that was trippy, and that looked like the blob water from The Abyss. And was ironic. Both movies are made by 20th Century Fox. Maybe that was like probably like a wink to like the Abyss. That maybe Richard Kelly was a big fan of The Abyss. Who knows? But that was cool and trippy to see, because that was like a really trippy part to see. But he's like Donnie Darko. He's like about dealing with his stress, his sleepwalking, and one day he sleepwalked out of his house, and something happened at his house. Something crashed into the roof, and it landed in his room, but he wasn't there, so he was sleeping, walking outside, and slept walk to a golf course. Then he wakes up, goes back to home, sees what happens. His family is said that they had to stay at a hotel because the house got destroyed. In his room, a big wheel of an airplane fell in there, so they had to go stay at a hotel. And then the next day, he's telling his friends and about what's going on, and then he meets up with a new student that goes to school with him, played by Jena Malone from Hunger Games 2 and other. I forget what other movie she's in, but the only one I seen her in was in the second Hunger Games movie. But she plays like this new student that he starts having a feeling for her, and then they start interacting and talking to each other and have a relationship. And then he also has a psychiatrist that he goes to, played by Katherine Ross from The Graduate. And he talks about how his problem is about talking about Frank being the imaginary character that he keeps looking and staring at. On what leads to another more of the hallucination of the Frank sequence, where him is appearing at a movie theater where Donnie and Jena Malone are going to see a movie in theaters, and it's The Evil Dead, Sam Raimi's Evil Dead. That's badass. And Frank is there, and he's like revealing who he is under the mask, where he takes his mask off and he has like a bullet wound under his eye. And it's so ominous, and you don't hear his voice clear at all because it's all grasping. That's a like a really disturbing revelation of somebody under the mask. Like that's scary. And another another sleepwalking thing that Donnie has, he goes, holds an axe and cuts the water pipeline from the school, and it makes the school get flooded. But the movie just goes on where they don't even suspect Donnie is in on it. But yeah, he starts like insulting some of the teachers and all that shit because sometimes there's days he could be an asshole, some days he could be a good person because he has bipolar problems. And he gets um I like there's like the thing where Patrick Swayze's like this motivator speaker guy that holds like this consultant group plays that he goes to, and he calls him out about being a pervert or something, and it turns out they found CP in his computer, and his character's arrested, and they ruin his career. That thing ruined his career, and and everybody's shocked about that because he was like a good person in the movie. So they get that character arrested for being into nasty shit. And Donnie Darko hangs out with Jim a little more, and they get more in their story, talking to each other, talking about the lady that keeps going to the mailbox in and out, which I think she has like dementia. So like that's why she keeps repeating everything that she does. And one day Donnie Darko is having Halloween party, and everybody else is having fun. They go out to see the old lady because he has like a vision, and he's attacked by two bullies, and one of the bullies is a young Seth Rogen in one of his early roles. because I think around this time he was doing Freaks and Geeks, which sucks that show got canceled because I did get to see that show on Paramount Plus, and that was actually a really good show. I don't know why they canceled for one season. That was actually a good show. That was bullshit because the show did end off with a cliffhanger, but I enjoyed that Freaks and Geeks show. That was a really underrated one. But he plays one of the asshole bullies that attacks Jake Gyllenhaal and Jena Malone because they were gonna go see them, old lady and the psychiatrist, but they're attacked by the bullies, and then his friends are a bunch of chicken shit. They don't want to fucking help him out. Like, not even like fucking kicking Seth Rogen in the balls or something, like get him down and then go and punch the other asshole in the face or punch him in the dick. Or sucker punch the motherfucker with a red right hand. No, they're chicken shit. They didn't want to fucking help his friend out. He's getting beat up by one of the bullies. And then there's a car that's approaching, and they get out of there, and boom, Jena Malone gets run over by the car. And the person that gets out of the car is James Duvall, and he's revealed to be in the same costume that Frank is wearing in his imaginary. The imaginary character you see in Donnie Darko's vision when he's all hallucinating Frank. But it's James Duvall from the Independence Day, who he was playing Randy Quaid's son in the movie, and he was also in May. He was like a punk rock dude where he had like spiky hair and eats juju beads and has a Frankenstein tattoo. His part is small in the movie May, and he's also in other movies too. I know there was a slasher movie that he was in. I forgot the hell what it is. It was with a mask guy where he has like a knife and it's on the cover. But all in all, that was a pretty good underrated slasher film that he's in. But he's an underrated actor. I kind of wish he was in more movies, like a lot of more movies. Like, because he's a good actor and he has a capable voice. But he was the one that hit Jena Malone, and Donnie's devastated of seeing her dead and run over and hugs her dead body. James Duvall gets out, wondering what the hell's going on, and then he gets shot in the eye. So that's why you see he has the bullet wound in the theater. It's because it's in this moment where he is getting shot, but all in all, the Jake Gyllenhaal just is full of rage and just shoots him in the eye and takes his girlfriend Jena Malone into the car and drive away and try to get to somewhere else, and even contacting his psychiatrist who wasn't there, because that's where they were going to meet, was the psychiatrist, but she wasn't there. So he goes and meets her at her house, and leads to another where he's going crazy. His mind is going crazy, and it's revealed it's a time gap time travel movie where he's already in the future that's going to happen if he's alive. And it's really trippy, and the movie just goes really reversible with the time travel, where like he sees that his girlfriend's dead, all the crazy shit that happened, the Patrick Swayze character getting arrested for having CP in his computer, and Drew Barrymore, like, because Drew Barrymore, and I forgot to mention, Drew Barrymore is in this movie, and she plays a teacher, one of Donnie Darko's teachers, and she's like one of the good characters, but people don't like about what she's teaching. They're bitching at her a lot, so like all that stuff. And one leads to another, she gets fired for standing up and shit. And it's kind of bullshit that she gets fired for some bullshit reason. But all in all, like all the stuff that happened with Donnie Darko, witnessing all this crazy shit, Frank's hallucinating, all the trippy crap that's insane and crazy, reverse back to where he was in the bedroom before he slept walk and got out of his room. He goes to that day, and one leads another. Boom! The plane tire that crashed through finally hit Donnie on the bed because Donnie didn't sleepwalk. He didn't get out of the house. He was still there, and the plane crash hits him. I know there's like a alternate, like a deleted scene, an extended version of the of what you see him, because I know like the movie gives you more of an impact where you don't see what happens because it's just the impact of the damn thing falling. And you don't see his dead body, but his dead body's only seen in the deleted extended scene, and it's kind of fucked up and really more disturbing. Which I kind of wish they would have went that way because that would have been hella disturbing to see. So like, it would have gave it like a really disturbing vibe of the movie. Like, man, that was a disturbing ending. Like, it's like similar to the Mist ending. Like, that is so disturbing. Because in the deleted extended scene, they show his dead body where he's a little bit crushed and he's stabbed in the chest by one of the piece, like, because part of the tire was attached with part of the plane, and piece of the plane, like sharp piece of it, impaled him in the chest. And it's very devastating when you see him, like, he's like, oh, like the thing's on his chest and he's like twitching. Damn, that was fucked up and disturbing to see. But all in all, you get like this song. I forgot who sings this, but it sounded like Phil Collins a little bit because I kind of got like Phil Collins vibe around it, and it was a really good. It's like my favorite song in the movie because it just gave you like that depressing and intense feel of the ending, and then they take his dead body out to the morgue, struck an ambulance, and you get the character Jena Malone, who was his girlfriend in the movie. She wasn't in high school yet because she didn't know who Donnie Darko is because he only met her in school the next day after that incident happened in his house. But now he's dead. He never met her, and she doesn't know who he is and doesn't know what happened until a little boy on a bike tells her what happened to Donnie, and his name is Donnie Darko. And none of the stuff, crazy stuff happens. We don't know if that's gonna happen with the CP of Patrick Swayze's character getting in trouble for that shit, but or Drew Berrymore getting fired for her lectures and stuff that people thought was inappropriate. But we don't know what's gonna happen because Donnie Darko finally is gone because this was a time travel gap movie where he was looking into the future and then boom, he went back where he died, where he was meant to die. And yeah, very impactful ending and trippy film to watch with good special effects and good soundtrack. And all in all, I didn't mind this movie. It's a solid, entertaining film that's interesting. Would I say this is a masterpiece? Like, no. I would say there's better movies than this. Like, I prefer, because there's a lot of good, like, impactful psychological thriller movies that I enjoy more. Like Seven, I enjoy more than this movie. Fight Club, I enjoy more. Um, what else? This is a psychological thriller. Um, Taxi Driver, that's a good one. I would say I like that more than this movie. But all in all, it's a well done movie. Good cast. Even I forgot to mention Nightcrawler. I would say that's a better movie than Donnie Darko. And I like Jake Gyllenhaal in that movie. But Jake Gyllenhaal did a good job. I thought the cast were good. Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. is no longer with us, and I'll see how that remake of the Roadhouse is. But all in all, yeah, it's a solid, decent movie. Yeah, I do not mind Donnie Darko. I don't think it's a masterpiece, but I do enjoy it. But yeah, that's my review, folks, of Donnie Darko. Thank you for sending this movie, Sean. Have a good day, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.